whatever, but you'd never see three. You wouldn't be going, oh, which one am I going to get first and everything. They'd come in, they'd exit out of a window or whatever. Whereas I walked in on a bit of activity.
There's nothing to eat here.
Right? 3 flies in the flat, right? All sort of whizzing around,
Right.
all together, right? So I just sort of think, oh, you know, let them be. They seem to be happy. You know, they're playing around with each other, right? Sat down, reading the paper, look up, right? It was like the one was trying to like have it away with one of the flies, and the other one was having a go as well. It turned out it was a little fly that didn't want any of the action, but 2 were attacking it.
How could you possibly gauge that?
Just by watching. That's how you learn, isn't it? You watch. You watch.
But no, this is conjecture again. You had no idea what was going on there.
No, I did. It's the way they were sort of jumping on it and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm not happy with this going on, and, you know, under my roof sort of thing.
My house, my rules.
But it's a nightmare because it's small. You can't control it. You don't know which one's which. You might end up sort of pushing out one. That's the baddie.
What are you
and you're pushing
talking
out,
about?
I'm just saying.
Why are you getting involved?
Just because creatures are changing all the time.
What are you talking about? What point are you making?
I'm just saying the way that flies used to be happy-go-lucky, on their own. The sun's out, have a fly about.
Whereas nowadays,
now there was like little attacks going on.
but how could you tell which were the 2 aggressors and which was the victim? How could you distinguish?
This was the problem. I mean, all I was looking at was which one they kept attacking, and I was thinking if I can get that one in the bedroom and then get the other 2 out the window.
What are you...
Just breaking it up, because what sort of a person would I be to let that go on?
I don't know what he's talking about. He has no feelings for anything. He doesn't care if whole species die out. Why are you getting involved?
That's where you're wrong, because I think more than most people. I think there's a lot of people who just go through the motions.
Yeah.
They do the same thing every day. They can do a job, but that's all they stick to. They don't think about what them flies do.
Carl,
what's that
I've
lady
known
doing?
you for, I don't know, 4 years, and all you ever say is things like, why do we have jellyfish?
No, I haven't mentioned the jellyfish today.
But it's the same old shit. You look at something, you make up your own story, and then your conclusion annoys you, even though it's totally fatuous.
Like I say, the man with the frisbee. What happens if he had a mate who said, it's rubbish that? He wouldn't have done it.
I love the fact that you think the frisbee is the pinnacle of invention. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
No, it's an example of something that, you know, if he was on some programme where you said, I've invented this, he'd go, get out. They wouldn't give him time of day to say, right, I've made this thing, it's out of plastic, you throw it about. What for? Well, you just chuck it about on the beach. What's the point? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? No, I don't like it.
That was an argument with himself.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's a popular little thing, and I'm just saying it's easy to put ideas down.
But you've never even come up with an idea as good as the frisbee, and that's saying something.
I came up with a clippable mat that goes on a cup, and it's a good little thing. I haven't followed it through yet.
A what?
A clippable mat.
What's a clippable mat? What does that
Clippable
mean?
mat that you stick on a cup, so you can put your cup down on a table without having to go, oh, where's that mat? It's clipped to the cup all the time, and you put the cup down wherever you want because it's got a mat on it.
I think I've seen that.
But why does it have to be clipped to it? Why couldn't it just be built into the cup?
Because
so it clips onto, you've got our special cups, it doesn't clip onto every cup.
No, but just the same way that every saucer's different. You don't say, oh, I'm sick of this saucer, it doesn't fit a mug. You use the saucer that, I mean, I don't use saucers, just don't buy that sort of
But isn't a saucer what you're talking about?
Kind of, yeah, but it's clippable.
But why is the clippability so important to you?
So you don't have to keep finding the mat when you put the cup down, it's constantly clipped to the
But why does it have to be clippable? Because that suggests it's removable. Why not just have something where it's constantly attached? What's to stop you from losing that in much the same way as you lose the coasters?
Do we need this? Do we need a clippable coaster?
But let's ask him like it's the Dragon's Den. Let's ask him now.
What?
We've got money to invest on your clippable cup. Now pitch this idea to us. Tell it, how would you sell this idea to us?
You just said, what was your question then?
Brilliant. So you're not listening. Let's start again.
I am.
Okay, imagine you walked in.
What is it for? What is it for? Is it a coaster to stop the heat from the cup burning the varnish?
Rick, let him explain.
Or is it a saucer to stop
Well, look
Spills.
at it.
Let's have you pitch this idea to us. Just you've never met us before. You were investors. Tell us, explain this to us. Sell it to us.
Right. We're living in a world where furniture is important to people. They spend a lot of money on it, don't they? Furniture.
Yeah,
There's so many
absolutely.
furniture shops out there.
Yeah.
All different types of wood from all over the world.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. If something's come from the Amazon, you don't want a coffee stain on it.
No, you don't know.
Right. But we're living in a world as well where people don't use saucers.
do you mean
when
they
you
don't?
when you go out and buy, because people.
What do you mean we live in a world where they don't use saucers? Yeah, there's loads of saucers, yeah.
Because I know people who buy cups singly.
Right.
Because there's only 2 people living in a flat, so you don't buy a big box, because in a big box of like plates and that, you get things like, what's the plate that's above a saucer but below a plate?
The plate that's above a saucer, but below a plate. So it's a plate, but it's below a plate.
But it's a size that you sort of go, what am I doing with this?
So what would it be? A side plate?
Maybe,
A
but
plate that you'd have alongside your regular dinner plate, right?
You put a bread roll on or something in a restaurant.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but-
okay.
but you
What's
don't
your
need
point? What do
No,
you mean?
this is fascinating to me. Because this
What-
is his best attempt now to
Okay.
try and attract investment.
do you know where your mats are at home?
I haven't got mats, don't use them.
Why not?
Because it doesn't bother me. I haven't got any highly polished furniture from the Amazon.
Right, Steve, have you got any sort of...
I've got some coasters and I use the coasters.
And do you know where they are when you need one?
Well, yes, because they're always at the place where I would normally put down a mug of hot tea, i.e.
Yeah.
on a table or a coffee table.
Right, now... do
I
you find-
keep if I had a highly polished table from the Amazon, I'd keep my coasters on it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying now is, what happens if you get up with your cup of tea? You're a busy man, right? This
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. We're living in a world where people are busier than
Yeah,
ever.
go on.
Not everybody can sit down and enjoy a cup of tea sat in the same place.
Right.
You get up and you might move into another room.
You haven't got a polished table in there from the Amazon, so it doesn't
No,
matter.
but you might be working on another expensive table
Oh, fine. We'll have a coaster there
that
as
has
well.
a
then.
computer on.
My question is this. 1, does it fit all mugs? Or do I have to buy a special mug to have this special
Well,
bit
we can
attached?
work it whatever way you want. We can either look at the standard size mug and say, let's appeal to everyone, or we can get in touch with some mug company,
How is it clipped?
just like little plastic clips that clip onto it,
Yeah.
and then you clip it off and you clean it. They're dishwasher proof, by the way.
They don't need that
But
at all.
why can't you just make a mug that has something built
built
in the
in.
base of the mug to prevent it from making the mark?
No, they don't
It's
need
only
that.
the heat that makes the mark, isn't it, really?
I just want to say now, that's a pointless idea, and I'm out.
Right, but what about the idea that you've just suggested then, with the mug with the saucer built in?
Yeah.
What about will we do that together?
But that's not your idea, that's my idea.
Yeah, but without my idea, you wouldn't have had that.
Well, but that's absurd. We're having a conversation, I've come up with an idea now, I've got the money,
do you
I've
want-
got the money,
do you
and
want
I'm
any-
going to go off with that idea.
Yeah, you haven't painted it anyway, and it's a rubbish idea, and you couldn't.
It's not
paint.
rubbish, because I've just thought as well that'll be good for putting biscuits on the side as well.
Oh God!
Okay, no,
And
let's
that
go.
means we can get rid of that plate that I don't know.
By
what
the
to do
way,
with.
now this is broadcast. You can never patent this idea because it's out in public domain.
To invest in this idea. Are you a mug manufacturer? Are you a mug designer? Are you someone who's got any interest whatsoever in this idea? Do you think it's a saleable idea? And more importantly, would it be not great to have a picture of Carl's face on the mat?
Because it's perfectly round
perfectly round.
as well, and you'd scold him every time.
Yeah.
You.
So there'd be a certain satisfaction in that.
Yeah, well, if Peter Jones is listening, or that Valentine fella, or what's his name?
Any of the big investors on that show, or indeed
yeah.
any investors anywhere, podcast at rickygervais.com. Get in touch. Tell us how we can move forward with this brilliant new idea.
Pathetic.
Oh, Chip Martin, he's gonna bring it down the little...
The jingle that signifies another reading from Carl Pilkington's diary. Got up and put the radio on. I listened to the story that the vicar read on Radio 2.
Yeah, that could be good.
He was saying how Jesus was 33 when he died. He said he was more into the idea of doing a lot in your life than living for ages. This was linked to the news about the doctor who's come up with some stuff that he's been injecting himself and his wife with that makes you age better. I looked it up on the internet. It wasn't worth them doing it because they are already old looking. I don't know why people want to stay looking young. You can wear a bald head better if you're old because hairs are replaced by wrinkles.
Drivel.
No, it's not drivel. It's
Pointless. A pointless entry to a diary, that.
It's not, because that could be a like an important bit in like world history.
What?
The fact that someone's trying to make people not age. Age is good, isn't it? When you see an old
That's been
person.
going forever.
What has?
People trying to age better.
No, but he's talking about if you're 90, he wants people to look like they're 30, and that's not good, because how would the world run when that's going on?
Well, I agree. But
You know, when
again,
people-
it's not a revelation.
If I like chatting to old people because they know a lot of stuff. So if I'm sat on a train and someone's old, I'm happier talking to them about.
They get up and move after about 10 minutes.
Well, he
No,
likes
but
the fact
they-
that many of them are infirm and can't.
Yeah, they have to stay there and listen to this one.
But yeah, even that means that they're getting more out of life in a way, because they don't move about as much, so they have more thinking time. It is weird how that happens to you as you get closer to death.
Jesus.
You know, you're not working as much because you're resting, and you can think back about your life and you can think, oh, I had a good one. Actually, it's not been that bad. Whereas if
But you must have started that now, because you've been doing nothing for the past 3 months.
yeah, but I'm just like I'm saying, it is a good thing for you to do, to sort of think about what you've been doing with your days and your weeks.
And how
So-
do you assess your life so far? With all this spare time you've had in your hands and moping around and moaning about your illness and just sitting round, right? You've been introspecting, have you?
Yeah.
Go on then. What have you come up with?
I haven't come up with anything. I'm just, I'm just, you know, I have an all right life, and things are changing.
Oh, keep saying that.
No, but you don't know how much they are changing, to the point of, I don't know if I mentioned the squirrel eating Mars bars, but from that, from that happening to monkeys opening bottles with lids on them, to it's mental out there. It's madness what is going on. And all I'm saying is old people need to be old people. You need oldness. You need to see old people. You need to go, right, they might have a solution. They've been on the earth longer. Quick, we need an answer. How old are you? I'm 32. Well, you look 78.
I don't know what you're saying! I don't know who that conversation was with, why you got angry, and I think you made the opposite point that you were making at the beginning. If you say you're 32, you look 78. No, you were saying about it'd be a problem if you were 78 and looked 32. I don't know what you're saying. You came down the wrong side then. You did that whole thing and you bollocksed it up again in your brain.
I'm just saying, either way, you need to have people who look old. Otherwise, who's in charge?
I don't know what you mean.
Right.
So you say so you're saying it'd be alright to make 78-year-olds look 32 as long as there were some 32-year-olds that look 78, as long as you've got old-looking people.
No, but say
Can I
like,
tear this page out? Because it's worthless.
what I mean is, when I went to the doctors,
Oh.
I saw the specialist, right, about the kidney stones. I was asking him all the straight questions.
Go on.
Is it life-threatening?
No.
You know, how long am I going to be out? All
Couple
the
of
rest
days.
of it, right? Now, he
As it
was
turned out, it is life-threatening and you've been out for 3 months whinging about the fucking thing. Strange.
Now, he was quite old. He looked about 55, and that reassured me in a way. In a way, it didn't, because he's one of them doctors who didn't open his eyes much, and I kind of thought, I hope you
I
open
don't know
them
what you're
wider.
talking about. What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean he didn't open his eyes much?
One of those sort of doctors who's either that overworked, that he does that, you know, when he's tired, so he's going, right, what we're going to do is, and he's doing that with his eyes shut, he's
Well,
talking like that.
this is radio.
I know, but I'm telling you, so you can see.
But people are meant to be listening to this.
But if they can't imagine me with my eyes shut,
Well, tell him you got your eyes shut. Just
Right.
say he had his eyes shut.
yeah, he had his eyes shut.
Had he been reading this? Bored, stupid, I imagine. He's just trying to get a...
But do you know what I mean? Or I don't know if it's because he's tired or if he's that educated that some people know so much you don't even have to look at it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Intelligent people.
Who is so educated that they don't need to open their eyes?
You see it, you see like...
Who's that bloke of those? Is he blind? No, he's been reading too much. He doesn't open his eyes anymore, doesn't he? No.
Old people who you see wearing tweed and what have you, and they're really posh and they talk, and whenever they talk their eyes are shut and they
I
open...
don't know what this observation is.
I don't understand why you've never seen that.
I've never seen an old, educated man wearing tweed who doesn't bother open his fucking eyes.
Steve,
I
have
don't
you-
know what you're talking about.
Steve, have you seen... Do you know what I mean? When people don't sort of open their eyes when they're talking to you, and it can be quite annoying, because it's like they're saying, I'm not interested about you sat there, I'm not bothered if you're listening, I'm saying what I'm saying because I say what I say. And it can be quite annoying.
if he has got his eyes closed, he's probably just trying to absorb what you're saying and think carefully about
probably.
it, so
Anyway,
he doesn't misdiagnose you.
I'm not having a go at him.
Well, it sounds
I'm
like
just
you are.
saying he was 50 odd, and I was happy that he was there telling me
I don't know why you were watching his eyes when he was telling you about your insides.
because you can tell a lot by people's eyes. That's what I said about jellyfish. But, you know, just lines in a face tell a few stories, and I don't think we should get rid of them lines.
Brilliant.
Wise words.
Well, that's the end of show number 4 in this 3rd series of the Ricky Gervais Show. So it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Goodbye.
and of course, Carl Pilkington.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this programme. This is Audible.
Well, here we are, number 5 in a series of 6 of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello there.
and Carl Pilkington.
Alright?
Well, Carl, you are officially a published author. Your book came out, The World of Carl Pilkington, and a copy will go in the British Library.
Will it?
Well, they
Yeah.
have to take every rubbish. I think it'll go in the British Library lavatory. From what I
Yeah,
understand,
yeah.
it'll be in there with like a collection of like novelty postcards and maybe
exactly.
a Viz compendium. But, you know.
Yeah, so they take everything. Just think of that.
But is that a rule they set up when books were more important to people? And now it's kind of like, oh, I wish we never said we'd do that.
Well, they have to add 2 miles of shelves every year, apparently.
That's what I mean. Now, surely, you know, they changed a lot of other rules, don't they? They used to allow people having their head cut off. And now they've gone, we shouldn't do that anymore. So we'll sort that. Why don't they just say, only so many books a year make it in there? Ones that are important to the future.
But who knows what's important to the future?
Well, you know, normally when I say something that I think's a good point,
Yeah, but you're always wrong.
No, but what I mean is when I say something that I think I have got a point there.
Yeah, but you're always wrong.
But why do they do this? Why do they think they've got to keep everything? Because we're living in a world now where everything is sort of binnable, and you know we use stuff
Binnable.
for what it is.
Well,
I think you could say that.
Oh,
It's
that's fine.
binnable,
That's
yeah.
fine.
There was a sort of poetry to it, but I think he stumbled across that. I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't got over last week him saying foodage.
Do you know what I mean, though? That the world's changed, so why is that rule still hanging around when...
Well, it's not a rule. I mean, it's not a rule that the country's going to live and die by. It's just that it is seen as a repository for knowledge, for information, and I don't believe any old Joe can wander in there and get one of these books. I think you have to either be a scholar. I think maybe it's open for a brief window for students, but you can just wander in there and see your own book, Carl.
There are
even though
some
you're
books that they have to turn the page for you in gloves, so the amino acids.
I'd hate that.
With yours, it won't matter. They just go, it's over there, or they throw it to you.
No, it's just...
Or they slide it along the floor.
They say, I can't give it to you, Carl, because it's propping up this desk.
Yeah, they kick it to you and say, put it in the bog when you're finished with it.
It's just that thing of being timed, though. I hate it when people go, oh, have you read this? And then I can't read it properly because they're thinking I'm taking ages here. Do you know what I mean? So I have to scan read it. And they go, oh, it's good that. And they go, what do you think? And I go, oh, about what? So I hate the fact that someone stood there with gloves on, because that isn't normal, relaxing sort of reading, is it?
But it's not. You don't go in to read the Doomsday Book, let's say, in order to just have a relaxing read. You're going in there to study
There
it.
are certain to say
historically.
they're professors and scholars and scientists and historians. They don't wander in because it's raining and they go, what's a good read?
There's not a man wearing white gloves turning the pages of the latest Jackie Collins.
Exactly. Do you have heat?
Watching your lips move as you read to see if you should turn the next page.
I suppose I shouldn't really feel guilty, because at the end of the day, right, I mean, people always rave about Shakespeare, saying, oh, you know, his work was good. But
Brilliant.
at the same
He'll
time...
probably put that on the book when he brings another one out. He'll put your review on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Carl Pilkington.
But at the same time, you know, like, some people will have a go. I'm ready for people having a go, like that Wendy did about Me Little Films Are Made. There's always people...
Wendy
now-
Robinson.
Yeah, you know...
It's her opinion.
For those of you who didn't hear last week, she slammed Carl.
No, well, you know, each to their own and that. And, you know, if everyone liked the same thing, I don't know what we'd do. Right?
Sure.
You don't know anything.
So all I'm saying is, everybody raves about Shakespeare. When, if you properly looked at what he did, he invented a lot of swearing words, right? Effing and jeffing and that. Now, if
That was one of his.
Well, it's Effing and Jeffing Part 2. Did he make up a great deal of swear words? I don't know that I'm aware of this.
A lot of them are Shakespeare invented. But all I'm saying is, for some reason, when things are brought out years ago,